Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. We are going live. Going live at it live. So livid. So livid and so fresh. There's going to be some noise in the background, but don't you worry about it. It's just my washing machine. Just my washing machine. I had some technical difficulties earlier. I was trying to stream earlier, and for the life of me, it was just not working. Was not working whatsoever. But we are working today, so don't you worry your little heads off. So I'm gonna just go ahead and draw this. I'm loving how everything is coming out so far. My artists are doing such an awesome job on our last two little bits, and I am very excited to see this thing when it's finished. Are you guys? Are you guys? I hope so. I do this for you. We all do this for you. We want you guys to laugh. At least I'd hope. Cringe for the most part. I think it goes over like that. Maybe? No. Let's just draw it how it is. Let's do that. Let's do that. Go up right here. Give it more depth, so to say, right? How has your weekend been? Mine has been awfully busy. Working on this stuff, making sure everyone is nice and cheeked up, because I love when things are cheeked up. Don't you guys love when things are cheeked up? It's just so much more. Life is better when things are cheeked up, you know? Just the little things in life, you know? The little things. Like being cheeked up. I think it's supposed to go like this. It comes out of his thing, around. But then he has another piece coming up from under here. It slides up and around this other piece. There we go. It's a little bit more like it, right? It's going to be covered up by this cheek anyways. We just want to create more realism by drawing a little bit in there so we don't have to worry about what's going to show and what's not going to show. I did something to help my wrist out today too. I had my drawing tablet a little too high. So what I did is I adjusted it and leaned it back a little bit just to kind of give me a little bit more rest room, so to say. If that's the easy way to say it. Oops. All right. Now from here, we're going to draw the back crotch just under the butt cheek right there. And like I said, we're trying to add realism, so let's do this. Let's go under butt cheek. And then we'll put his leg out like this. It's crotch right there. Boom. Remember, he's going to be cheeked up, so I'm just going to draw the muscle of his butt cheek. So we know the crack is down the center, so we'll go ahead and put another line here. We'll zoom in because I want to use my cutter tool and clean that up a little bit. That's a lot better. So if we can get rid of that one. Nope. Oh, can't do that without getting rid of. What about this? Yeah. I've been trying to catch up on the animation stuff too. You know, so if I've been late, it's because I'm doing the rendering, and usually rendering doesn't go too well on live streams. You know, more computer usage. I think my PC can take it. I'll try it one day, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose the entire stream. But that's fine. That's fine. We're all here to party, right? You guys all like to party. Okay, we're going to go cheek 1 is going to be the back cheek here. Cheek primo. I think that's how they say it. It's far too large. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw the full circle. Reason being is because I want to get rid of some of this lining when I get to the color portion. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. Now, cheek number 2. This one's probably just going to be the half circle, only because he has a lot writing on him. His contact points are a little different. These nice and bubbly like that, right? Is that too much? Maybe a little bit. Just want to make it nice, round, and voluptuous. Another thing we can do, but it may be a little too much, is we can make this whole armor pad piece its own piece and then put it over. But I'm almost thinking that might be too much for the animation. I'm literally just going to vibrate these cheeks and that's about it. Just going to delectably vibrate. Let's go into this guy. Now when I do that, what I'm doing is I'm creating like a pivoter, so to say. I'm going to put some veins on this guy. There's another pivot point. Some people could say he's quite the chode. I think Nappa is a fascinating creature. There we go. His neck. Here's his Adam's apple. Go to his head. Let's put some spazazzy zazzy. Let's start with the head. Should I give him pointy ears? No, let's give him big round ears. Because he's listening. He's listening in. He just wants to hear that essence of Frige Malone. I'm kind of trying to get a feel for where that should be. And this one's going to be eaten over by this side, because this is the dominant side, right? There we go. His eyes are going to be separate, so I'm going to pretend he doesn't have his eyes there. Am I going to make his nose separate? Do we have to make his nose separate? No, we don't. Yeah, because it's not going to be in the way. Or you know what? I will make his nose separate only because I want him to look like he's sneezing it. It'll just be a small detail because this is all in like probably less than a second. There's not even 24 frames here, I think. It's probably like a second and a half, just to be fair. Let's put nose. Snap nose. There we go. It'll be in front of I1. We just got to remember this is I1, I2. Kind of vice versa of the cheeks, so to say. So we won't draw the nose yet. I'll go back to the head. Let's give him his nice jaw moving line. Let's put his nice chin in there. Give it some emphasis. Oh yeah, he be moving. He be moving hard. Let's do them less voluptuous up on top, just so we know he's moving hard. Or mewing hard, I think that's what it's called. It's called Mugen or mewing. Let's do this. There we go. I could probably draw his cheeks on a separate one, just to make it a little easier. I'll do it on the nose layer so we know what's in front of... We could put the nose in the front and then the eyes in the back of the nose. But I do want this one to cross over the nose. So we'll have to make cheeks on separate layers because we want to be able to hide that other one. So let's do that. It'll technically act as a cutter. Let's move Vegeta's cheeks over here. Let's open this up. Let me put "and cheek" in here so we know that we're covering him up with a cheek. There we go. And this other eye will have another separate cheek. So I'm going to do something simple with the eyes. I'm just going to put a bone in the eyes so that they can kind of move really quick. But trust me, I'm doing a lot for just simple animation here. You don't have to do all of this, but it'll look nicer in the end. I like things to look nice. Do you guys like things to look nice? I hope so. I really do. And for the eyes, I'll create an ellipsis. Or actually, no, we need that brow first, sorry. Let's go back to the head. We're not done with you, Mr. Head. I like my right strokes a little bit more accurate than my left stroke. There we go. So now we'll do the eyes, and then we'll just kind of warp them here and there. We'll move them how we need to move them, all that good stuff. Here. Let's put some rotation on that. Rotate it real good. Boom. It's about where it should be. Yeah, that's about where it should be. And we'll just copy this eye. When we get to the... Oh, sorry. That was not what I needed out of it. Boom. There we go. Now it's on its own layer. Then we can do the cheek. What we'll do is we'll draw it. And then we'll just take away from it what we don't need. I'm going to draw slightly into our other cheekbone. I only need the layers from here to here, so I could delete all these lines after I'm done dropping the color line art. We'll do the same on this one too. So let's put this eye in. Select our eye. Let's just rotate it. Boop. Just like that, you have a set of eyes. And this one's actually going to be in front of it, so we got to move this guy back. Or actually, no, this was the cheek with the nose. We'll draw the nose in there in a little bit. Let me finish this eye up, because I got it where I need it. We'll make it a little smaller too, just because it's further away. So we want to create the emphasis that it's further away. Okay. Now what I can do is I could distort it a little bit. So it's kind of like a bean, right? Because it's sitting under that cheek. Actually, let me drop this a little more. There we go. That's kind of what we're looking for. And then this cheek's going to take over this eye, right? Let me not forget to draw this nose. Because I'm smart, you know. She's got those big nostrils I want, right? And we're going to move them. We're going to move them slightly. So I'll probably make a few more drawings just kind of duplicating and doing my thing, you know. The pupils. I'm not sure if the pupils are going to dilate too much. But we'll just go ahead and draw them in there just to check it. Worst case scenario, we need to put weights on them, or we just draw some pupils in, kinetic outputs, that good stuff. You know how Toon Boom can be. So this is the other cheek we're drawing. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and put some deformers in these guys. Now, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Torso. We're going to start with the torso. So this will be a regular peg. Go ahead and move our pegs as we create them. Legs. Put them right down here in between. Cheek one. Actually, we got to make the peg for the legs, sorry. Boom. Here we go, right here. Same with this guy right here. Cheek one. Boom. We're going to make them at his pivot point. Let's put right there, because we want them to move from there. Just going to use some skewing to get these guys animated. Easy animation. Cheek two, kind of the same thing. Just going to pop them right here. And I'm just going to skew them up and down. All right. Awesome. Awesome blossom. So these guys, I don't think we need to exactly put them together. They're all going to be on the same spot. What I could do is just create a master peg for them. Don't really need no kinetic outputs if the master peg is pretty much controlling them and this guy's not really doing too much movement. So yeah, we could kind of take the easy route on this one. He's just technically an image with minimal animation. Minimal. Very minimal. Okay, neck. Let's turn this guy out. Deactivate. Okay, now for your neck, I'm going to do something a little different. Just going to go from deformer 1. There's your pivot. Boom. There's your neck. Right? So there's your one bone. The head, we'll put on a peg. Boom. We'll move the peg over to Nappa. This guy. Boom. We'll put it on the pivot point, which is about... Normally, you use the cranium to detect that, so we'll pop it right there. All right, position 1. This one, we're also going to use a bone. This is where I was going to mix things up a little bit. So we go from here to there. This is how we're going to get that bulge in his eye. These guys, we can use a peg, Control P. And move it over to his nose right here. Boom. All right, we're going to create another bone. Boom. Boom. Like I said, it's going to help us make our bulge, which is perfect. It's what we need. And the other cheek, Control P. Just in case we need it. Just in case. I don't think we will. It's technically going to be used as a cutter. But just in case we need it, it's going to be there. Okay. Now we're going to create some kinetic outputs. So the neck bone is going to take precedence over everything. Kinetic outputs. So we're going to need these. It's going to go down here. And this is going to take precedence over the head. Now the head's what's going to hold the face. So from the face, let me move this more over. Get Nappa in there so you can see him. Now this face is going to connect everything else. So we probably only need one output for everything. So we go here, boom. There, 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 and there. And to test this method, to test this method, we can grab our head peg here. And if we move our head peg, everything else should move. And if we move our bone here and click this, everything else should open, right? So now we can move his neck over, right? So let's check these eyes. Let's make sure these eyes are working the way they should work. Let's go over here. Yes, that's what we want. This is what we were looking for. It's giving us that point and direction. We could bulge them anywhere we want. Perfect. Our rig is now ready. So let's get to coloring. The bright side, this should all be easy. Should. Let's go to Vegeta. Boom. And drop all these. Hopefully we can go down here and drop all those beautiful lovelies. Before I actually do color, I'm going to close any gaps that I have. So this one, I'll probably give it a nice close from one spot to the other. Boom, just like that. We'll use a tool. Kind of curve it so it's not interfering with anything else over there. You see what I did there? I'm probably going to have to move that line down. See that? There we go. And we just want this to follow that line, so we're going to adjust so we're not killing our butt here. Right there. Our booty is ready to shake. Cheek 2, we dropped down already, which is perfect. We're going to go up here to this line now. We're going to get this tool over here. Sort of accent tool. Now, I'm going to kind of create the curve and start it from there, but I don't need all these other little lines anymore. I'm going to create another. If you hit Control and you tap this, you could add nodes if you need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that radius there. This guy's going to go here. I'm going to curve him a little bit more so he kind of makes sense, right? But he can go a little bit past our other cheek, because our other cheek, but not past the tail. Our other cheek's going to take precedence over that. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy here. Rotate him like that. I'm going to move this guy in a little bit. But I'm going to pop our other guy right there. See that? You don't want to cover the tail up too much. We want it to kind of work around the tail so we're not killing it, right? We also don't want to make it look too awkward. So I'm going to make sure our line is where it should be. Boom. Cheek 2 is done. Our legs, doesn't look like anything needs to be closed here, and it doesn't look like anything needs to close here. So let's go ahead and color this bad boy. Where is our other colors for the Jeets? I want to say it's this guy. Yeah, it's this guy. Some of these whites is hiding, you see that? Sometimes these little things just do it. They don't ask permission, they just do it. There we go. Brown for our tail. Get in there. Oh, look, we got some little whites hiding over here. Make sure to get those bad boys in there. Okay, and then we're going to get some blue. Color our cheekies. Looking fabulous. Looking fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And when we turn this off, he should look gorgeous and double-cheeked up. Lovely. Okay. So, Mappa, let's get this guy done. Sorry I missed the fucking lesson yesterday. Excuse my French. Yeah, I had to catch up on a lot of the animation stuff. And it was a doozy. Very big doozy. I got some backgrounds in and I wanted to catch up and get ahead of the game. So I took the initiative and, you know, just did my thing. You know, started rendering stuff, getting things into proportion, all that good stuff. You know, but like I said, the project is looking amazing. Amazing. I am excited for it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as soon as it comes out. All right. I think that's it. Eyeball, boom. Same thing with the other guy. Nose and cheek. We're going to color the cheek here. Nose, we have to close this. Let's grab our close gap tool again. There we go. Nice and closed. Let's paint this bad boy. I do want to close these guys too, just because I want to make the nostrils like dark. Use the close gap tool and then I'll just kind of arc it. That's what I mean by arc it. If I grab this tool here, give it more of a distinct look, right? And I'll make our, or give more dynamic to our character color. To our character in general. Alright, so we got that guy. Other eye, we got him right here. No. Color our pupil. And other cheek. We have him right here. So, now that we got these cheeks colored, let's get to business on them, right? So, Here's what I'm going to do. Touch this. I'm going to take out what I don't need. See that? We still have our cheek in the spot we have it, but we just don't need all this other stuff in between. So, boom. We have our line. We have our cheek. Good. Our cutter is finished. We'll go to our another cheek. Boom, 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 boom. I could probably just select them all too like this and just delete them. But, you know, it's a lot more fun and I think it's safer this way. And like that, we have our cutters with our cheeks. We have our Nappa. Very curious about what these cheeks be doing. So, let's put some animation on this bad boy. Control save so I don't destroy everything. I'll be focusing on the cheeks first. So, one thing I should have done before I started animate, or, you know, throwing pegs up. So let's highlight all this. We're going to extend this exposure to the end of our scene. Stretch it out that way. Yeah. Oh yeah, let me shout out to my artist. We got Tyler Talmadge, who is a phenomenal artist that's been working with me for a while. He is an awesome man, and his artwork, you need to check this stuff out, man. He's got like a little thing he's setting up, and man, he's got some excellent work. You could check his animation page. I think it's Tyler Animates. And then we have Alex Smiles Garcia, who is also helping us out. He's doing a good thing too. He's a tattoo artist. He's done all my tattoos, and he's a really good tattoo artist. His Instagram art page is It's All Art and Bullshit, or BS. Sorry, not bullshit. And like I said, it's phenomenal work. You should see some of this other guy's work. I got one of his paintings in my room, and in my, or sorry, not my room, but it's in my living room over my fireplace because it's so exceptional. The guy's a phenomenal artist. And my other artist, who is also a tattooer, is Galen Douglas. My tongue is today because I ate a hot burger and it just burnt the shit out of me. But Galen Douglas Art on Instagram, he does these phenomenal Pokemon tattoos, and he does like some Godzilla stuff, and he has a whole bunch of other things that he does on there. But so go check his Instagram page out, Galen Douglas. You'll see him when he sees him. He's like his card. I got it from someone at I mean, you know, like you have those liquor stores like down the street from your place. Well, I got his card from one of his coworkers, and my God, that thing is awesome. It's like a Pokemon card, but it's also his business card, and he's got like a Pokemon Godzilla on that thing, and he's on there just flexing his tattoo stuff. And man, this guy is such a great artist also. So just go check those people out. That being said, let's get back to our business here. We're going to flex these cheeks now that we have everything exposed. So we're just going to focus on the cheek one first. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to animate it in twos. So let's go here. So I'm thinking we'll move it up and down like that, right? So before it starts, we'll create a start peg here. So we're going to focus down here now. Let me bring this up actually, so when my editor sees the toon, he knows where to actually go. Right here. Sometimes he misses that, but it's okay. It's okay. I love you, man. You're doing some good editing work. All right, so I'm going to create a peg here. We're going to go by twos. So immediately, I'm going to count 2 to make it go up. Count 2. Make it go down. Count 2. Sorry. Highlight the cheek. Make it go up. Make it go down. Make it go up. See that? Just easy like that. But to make it smoother, grab this whole thing, boom, just like that. And we're going to do the same with the other cheek. And we're going to try to copy that cheek movement. That ethereal cheek movement. Ethereal. Because we want to sound smart and fancy. So right here is going to be the point of movement. Up. Move that thing up and out a little bit. Now we're going to go down. We're going to go up. We're going to go down. And we're going to go up and in. So, now, when we connect these all, connect the dots together, we have our fart physics. You are a fart physiologist, specializing in the fartomatics of fartology, and you can now call yourself a certified fart genius. Yes, I said it. Genius. Okay, legs I think are going to stay the same. Torso, what I'm thinking is I'm going to swing him forward. No, we don't want to do that too much. I want to do it so that he's slightly kind of in there like that. Yeah, there we go. That's where I want the line. And then when we go here, we'll hit this guy here, right? And as soon as the fart comes, we'll push him back because he's got some business to do, right? So we'll go ahead, connect those. And there we go. I kind of want to do something with this, that little line that we put there for the butt cheek. Let's get rid of it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It's messing with the animation. It's messing with it. I don't like it. Let's do this so nothing's animated on it. How do I get a hold? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I need a contour. Oh, there we go. That'll make it a little bit, make it look a little better. Then we got this all set up. Let's check it out. There we go. Okay, now we're going to move Nappa. He's going to come in on a quick ease. So let me actually activate these, right? He's going to go from here. Sorry, let me create a keyframe. From here, he's coming in. It's our Nappa peg right here. We're going to move him in real quick like this. Just like that. And we're going to connect that. And then right here, as the noise happens, we're going to bulge his eyes. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a peg for the eyes to start bulging from here. If you press 0, it'll take you to the spot, right? So that means my bone right here. Press it again. It's right here. See that? See that? It's right there. Bone 1. We're going to create a keyframe here. And as soon as that happens... Oh yeah, we got to put Nappa in front. Sorry. I have these backwards. I'm also going to do something else. So we got that guy there. This guy, we also want to create a keyframe for the other eye, right? We create a keyframe right here. And we're going to bulge him out too. Just like that. And he's doing what we need him to do. The other guy just isn't. So let's go back to that normal bulge like that. Let's move our Nappa guy over. Boom, just like this. Okay. So as he comes in, this guy here, create a little dingle dot. This guy here, we're also going to create a little dingle dot. Boop. And then we're going to bulge his eyes. We'll give him a little bit of bounce back too. We're going to create some turbulence in the head also, so just bear with me. Do the same with these guys here. See that? Bounce. I kind of want to shrink the size of his head a little bit. Maybe shrink the scene in general. But to do that, we need to connect this bone and this guy here with a master peg. So we'll highlight them both, create the master peg, we'll shrink this scene down. We'll start at the beginning just so we know. Get this scene here, right? We got to move our thing too, just so it's at the bottom of the scene. We'll go ahead and lock it so everything stays proportional in size. Get some more detail in there, you know, get the jeets, all that stuff we drew. Get most of it at least. And as Nappa moves in, we'll give his head a little rattle. So how to do that is just some simple animation. Doesn't take much. Trust me. Check this out. Nappa head, all right? We create a peg here, just so that it stays where it is. So right here, we'll create another peg because this is technically where it's going to start, so we'll leave it here. And every 2 will create a slight movement, just a slight one. There we go. So it looks like his head rattles a little bit as he's being blasted by the ass. We do want to create more ass blast effect. So what we'll do here next is we'll go to this bone right here. It's our main bone, right? Comes out here. And as he's blasted, we can go and stretch him in and out. So we'll go here. And we'll just kind of shake him a little bit. I kind of want to use some like circular motions. And then kind of an ease back into it, right? So when we put this all together, it creates a little bit of ass flatulence momentum. That's E equals FTF. That stands for flatulence, turbulence, fluctuation. Remember, E equals FTF. And these are all variables you got to take into consideration. Boom. And now from our awesome artist Galen, what we can do is go down here and pick one of our backgrounds. Now I have these backgrounds specifically picked out, so I know which ones I have. And if you have a library, you could just drop your library in here on this guy. Here, let me lose this because we don't need that now that we're done with the animation. We will need this for effects, so I'll just go ahead and close that. Close this. And we'll go ahead and drop our animation guy in. So, this was the one I needed for this. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab our tool properties, keep it locked, right? Boom. Boom, just like that. I'll probably create another effect, like After Effect, to give the flatulence a little bit more energy. But it's just, like I said, this seems like kind of a fraction of a second, so you ain't gotta worry about it. Anyways, we got our background, control save. Now I have some stuff that I have pre-made, like shading, lighting, rigs, etc. So I'm going to open my library. I'm going to grab my shader and whatnot tool, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. Now these two are grouped to be their own effect, right? What I'm going to do is, to make this a little easier to see, I'm going to grab this whole thing right there. You see that? Boom. I'm going to Control G to group it. I actually didn't mean to group the image, so go ahead and grab everything. Or why is there two coming out here? There's another one in here. Oh, it's because I grabbed the reference image. Okay, so let's put this reference image down here. We don't need this right now. Background image we don't need. We just need to grab everything up here. Everything. Boom. We're going to go ahead and group that so it's in its own little page. Right? Grab our toning effects, which are going to sit in front of this composite. So see, now that we composited everything, this is all under speculation that it's on its own thing, right? So I'm going to call this sequence 15. Sorry, it looks a little funky. Forgot I had cap locks on. Okay, sequence 15. I'm going to drop sequence 15 here, here, and then we're going to drop these guys here and here. Now I'm going to show you which each individual one looks like. So, when we open our shader, or tone shader, to create this shading effect that I use, obviously pending your specific numbers, you'll get different things. So what you start with is a turn shader, right? Our tone shader needs a normal map. And it's going to need a peg for its light position. So you can Control P, creates a light peg. You open your normal map. And your normal map, usually I have these set to my defaults because I like how things look this way, but you're going to have to mess around with it. Make sure all your bevel multiplier is a little bit more than your elevation and your smoothness multiplier. I like the bevel size 10 just because it looks a little bit more round. And then you can mess with this stuff to kind of look for what you're doing once you get everything set up. Now your normal map is going to need an image, right? But we're going to use a volume object. Now I'm not too sure why it needs this. I saw it on a tutorial. It's probably Onion Skins because I have been a big Onion Skins fan for a while. That's YouTube Onion Skins. You could drop these guys here, right? And what happens is apparently you assign an ID for this normal map, right? And when you set your IDs, it creates that volume or something like that. This is just me talking out of my ass. But just to get the light positions, just copy this general dynamic. So I'll go ahead and pop these up here so you can see what I'm doing. If you're trying to do something exactly like I'm doing, these are pretty much the stats you'll be using right here. So we got our ID1, which is our image, right? I assume if you have different objects that you name, you can name them different things, right? You can pick your bevel size, elevation, blah, blah, blah. And then your multiplier, blah, 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 right? So, that being said, we get our tone shader, right? If you go here, you can click this button here to see the controller, and it'll show you your light source. And see how it looks like a little camera? See that? That's going to be where the light is projecting, right? To create the shadow where you need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shadow up here as if it were the sun. See how we have our shade coming forward? I'm going to press it forward, and I'm going to press this guy all the way down so he gets everything, right? And now we're going to go to our light shader. And this is what I use for highlights. I have two of them just because I like two light sources, but it's kind of the same thing. Instead of using the tone node, you're going to use a light shader node, which has kind of similar effects, but it's a little different. Watch, I'll show you. So these you can set with the single ID, right? You set your elevation baseline. They're both going to have the normal map, which is also separate, but they're going to be attached to each other. See that? See that? You see that? You see that? You see that? Do you see that? So our normal map's going to connect this so they give off the same kind of luminance, and you could, you know, double expose it or whatever, right? Mess with the numbers. So what I like to do from here is I like to grab this guy, right? This is going to be a highlight from the sun, so I'm going to put him up this way. Create some highlights over here. I'm going to grab this guy here. I like to kind of crisscross him just so Nappa can have some nice highlights on his face as he's being blasted. And it won't show you exactly what's going on until you push the render view. Now your computer is going to render this together and give you subtly what looks like lighting effects. So it's not doing it really good here. Let me pick a good frame. If we open our frame up, go to this final frame here, right? Go to the render view, it's going to render the whole thing on an image and show you what exactly is happening. Now you can't really see it, right? Sorry, I probably disconnected the thing. Now that I connected our source to the image map, see how it kind of creates our shadows and stuff like that? Now, if you look here, this is what these lights are doing. They're creating this little highlight effect to give it more roundness, and these little tiny shady spots here are what that little piece is doing. Now, since this is a little bit more tricky, I'm going to have to go into the toner and adjust this tone shader a little differently. So let's go and mess with some numbers now. Let's go to our tone shader, open it up. Okay, so we got 95. It's a little heavy there, so I'm going to try 98, see if that kind of evens it out a little bit more. Yeah, and yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. It's just putting this gray shade over it, just to kind of like give it more of an opaque look. Surface reflectivity, let's mess with that, see what we can do. If I drop it to 15, it goes away. If I go back to 75, it comes back. But if we use our multiplier and how much is actually affecting it, we can see different things happening, like these highlights, etc. There's too much reflective light there, so I'm going to drop it to 1. If we did this, it would create more highlights, and it would just be like the opposite. It's kind of like inverting the shadows, so to say. All right. So abruptness. I'm going to see if I can change the abruptness, make that happen a little bit more. There we go. That's a little bit more nicer. I like how that look is. I am going to see if I can go back to 3 on this guy. Maybe 15 or 10. Let's try 10. Like I said, it's doing that lighting effect. 5 maybe. Nope, 5's a little too much. Let's go back to 1. No. Okay, and abruptness. Let's go 10. Yeah, that smoothens it out a little bit more. I like that. Now, it thinks that this is the low part of the piece. So what I could do is I can move this around. Kind of mess with the shadow a little bit more. You won't see it there. 100. Let's see if we drop it to 75. See if that helps. Just putting a little bit more on it. That's good. That's good. I want this to be heavy duty though, so let's see what we can do. I hope you're not stuttering out over there on your thing. Yes. What in the... It is beautiful. Beautiful indeed. So let's mess with these shadows a little bit more. If we go sharp, we can see exactly what it's doing. See that? That's where it's shading. We want to fix that. So abruptness, we'll change it to 1. We see that it's shading those spots. To get rid of this guy here, we'd probably have to knock it at 2, maybe 2.5. Another cool effect that I like to do with this is if we have our sun image here and we reverse this guy, we could change the shadow for to hit that little highlight that it's hitting. You see that? So it's as if the sun is coming from the back and easing itself in. Sorry, I gotta Control X to make sure I don't create a peg here. I'm kind of liking it over here, so let's do that. Come back to this spot. Let's close these guys out because we're not using them right now. There we go. It's a little better. I kind of like what's going on here. Now, I'm curious, if I bring the image closer, what will that do? Doesn't really do much. I feel like the further away it is, the better. Usually I get better results if I shine it away further. Little lighting spots, you know, move it around. Let's get rid of this flatten fix effects, so to say. Kind of got what's going on there. I do like a lot of this ridging right here. That's happening with the butt cheeks. I'm just going to go straight dark. See if that helps. Yeah, I kind of like that. See how it's kind of darkening? This little area right there, it gives it more roundness. Can't really see it there, but it's slightly right there. Got this guy at 75. Roughness smooth. Let's increase the lighting, the lumens, so to say. If we can drop it down to... Let's drop it down to 100. 10. You can't really see the effect that it's doing, but I think 10 is good. Maybe if we bring this guy closer. Hit it at 1,000. Oh yeah, that's better. See how it kind of rounded this little area a little bit more? I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Mess with this surface stuff. Usually I go about 20. I'll hit this at 50. And then we'll go 100 here. And yeah, that gave us some nice reflectivity. You see that? It's got more of a roundness in the bevel, which is awesome. Awesome blossom. So, now that we got that, I'm going to drop this stuff here, and then it'll just create our little thing. There we go. I could render it now. File, export, movie. I have it set to 1171. Sorry, I have the storyboard one. I'm going to open this up so you can see all my sequences. The last one I did was 14. I'm going to go here. We're going to change it to 15 so we keep the names the same. I'm going to choose the frames. 1171. And we're going to mark it over to 1187. See, that's our frame length right here. So I'm going to go ahead and render that. It's going to take some time. But be sure to check out my website. I got a ton of new stuff going on. There's like new merch. I'm starting to make sweaters now because of the winter season. I got a Crazy Bob one you might like. It's got like a front patch in the corner, almost like a little like a name tag thing going where he's explaining how to get crazy. And then in the back is just him and his crazy self doing a cool little painting. And I also got some Muscle Mommy stuff. So if you want to check out that, if you're a girl and you want to go ahead and, you know, mess around with a crop top, you know, you could use it for workout. It's a lightweight crop top. So it's on a little bit more of the pricier side because the print is a little bit more high quality. But especially the shirt. The shirt's like a lane shirt, so it's a very fancy shirt, so to say. A little bit more designer, but it's a nice crop top. Has Muscle Mommy flexing her muscles in the front, and she's got some spooky vibes in the back. Compliments to Amanda. Always your Amanda on YouTube, and she's what recommended the broomsticks and barbells, which is one of my favorites of the recommendations that came out. So go ahead, go to the Lewd shop, you know, and get some merch, you know. If also check out the Discord, man. We're gonna have a ton of cool stuff. Let me get to that real quick. Let me do a quick playback for you guys. Boom. While this is rendering, I have stuff on my Discord. I'm actually going to open a shop so that you guys can become part of this majesty. So if I go into my Discord, if I can get it open, we're going to open the Lewd Crude here. Boom. Just like that. We've got our Lewd Crude Discord, right? I have a contest that I'm throwing to help me get to 10,000 subs. I'm actually going to make a form for the sweepstakes, but you'll be able to grab one of these cool custom t-shirts before anyone else gets to have one, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can go ahead and buy one, but it's going to be no cost to you. I'm paying for the shipping. I'm paying for everything. You got to be in, there's some rules. You got to be in the intercontinental US because I cannot afford overseas shipping. So sorry, people out there. But yeah, be sure to check out the Lewd Crew right here, public Discord. Join and see stuff before I even announce it. You know, this is where I'm going to be doing a lot of my brainstorming. I will be opening a shop for all my screenplays. If you guys want to pay extra for that kind of stuff, you know, be part of it, become an editor for our series Jurassic Narc, which is pretty awesome. That being said, look at that. You see that? We got some movement. We got some movement. Let me loop that. Boom. Fart Physics. Fart Physics 101. And that will be my stream for today. I'm going to finish up the last few scenes. Thanks for coming.